The next of the seven deadly sins is lust or fornication, and I want to bring your attention to the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus says, and this is Matthew 5. We've done this before. Because we walked through the Sermon on the Mount together, but he says, "You have heard it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you, everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one member than your whole body be thrown into hell." Okay, we've covered this. I think this will be the third time we're kind of talking about lust and fornication and kind of these sexual sins. And the simplicity of it is, don't sleep with someone you're not married to. Period. Like, done. We're good. Kind of. But lust goes a little further, right? This also means you don't engage with pornography. And honestly, and this depends on where you are, and this is something that you have to understand. Because for some people, even just seeing someone who is, for example, a gentleman seeing a young lady in a bikini, for some people, that's going to lead them into lust. Because that is something that they immediately go to sexualization and lust. And if that's something you struggle with, it is not necessary. It's not their responsibility. You need to remove yourself from the situation. Okay? If you are struggling with that, you need to, for another example, if you are watching the NFL on Sunday and the camera pans over to the cheerleaders and that lust starts to be in your mind and your heart because you see them in their cheerleading uniforms, that's something you need to remove yourself from that situation. Because there is a reality that there is a desensitization that happens. Okay? So, and I'm going to use myself as an example because I can speak for myself. Because of, actually largely because of the school I went to, because I went to Vanderbilt University, and there was a lot of potential for temptation, let's say it like that. I don't struggle with that. Like, if I see a woman who is not dressed very modestly, I do not feel a lustful temptation. Because over my lifetime, I don't know if it's because I've been desensitized. I don't know if it's because my relationship with my wife is so strong. Like, I don't know why it is, but that's not something I struggle with. However, if you do, remove yourself from the situation. So that's kind of what I'm gonna, and part of the reason that's kind of the direction I went is because we've had a few other conversations about lust before. If this is something that you're curious, that you want to hear more about, check out our Sermon on the Mount series. Check out our Ten Commandments series. Those are the two series that we talked about this kind of stuff in. So, with that, go in peace, serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.